Let's be real. Buying a home, it's probably the biggest financial decision you are ever going to make. And when you're talking about a market as complex and fast-moving as Addis Ababa's, going in blind can be a massive, costly mistake. That's why we're going to dig into an expert's guide to help you turn what feels like a huge risk into a smart, secure investment.
So, is this a question you've been asking yourself lately? Trust me, you are not alone. That dream of owning your own place is powerful, but the road to get there can be filled with some serious pitfalls. And the very first one? Just the sheer scale of what you're up against.
Okay, first things first, you've got to wrap your head around just how massive this market is. We're talking about over 630 registered real estate companies in Ethiopia. That's more than 630. I mean, how do you even start? How many of them actually deliver on their promises? And how can you possibly know which ones you can trust? That number alone can feel totally overwhelming.
And this really gets to the heart of the matter, doesn't it? Look, we all know buying a home is an emotional roller coaster. You fall in love with a vision, a dream of your future. But, and this is a big but, if you want to succeed, you have to approach it with a cold, hard, logical game plan.
All right, so how do you actually build that strategy? Well, we're going to turn to an expert who has a totally unexpected background. It's not in real estate at all, and that's exactly what gives her this amazing analytical perspective that just cuts right through all the noise.
Get this. Before she ever got into real estate, our guide was a physics teacher. And not just any physics teacher, she specialized in metrology. That's the science of measurement. Her entire world was built on precision, on facts, on measuring things to see if they're real. She was literally trained to tell the difference between a flashy promise and a measurable fact. And honestly, that's the perfect superpower for a field where promises can be, well, let's just say, a little bit fuzzy.
And this quote right here, it tells you everything you need to know about her mindset. For her, this isn't just about a job. It's a philosophy. It's about hustling, about doing the hard work. And that is exactly the kind of energy you want in your corner when you're about to make a decision this big. Okay, so that's the mindset. But how does that actually help you? Let's break it down into a super practical toolkit with actionable steps you can use to check out any real estate company.
Her whole strategy really boils down to these 4 simple but crucial steps. Think of it as your absolute must-do checklist before you even think about signing anything. First, you prove they own the land, then you see their past work, talk to their past customers, and finally you tear that agreement apart. You skip even one of these, you're leaving yourself wide open to risk.
Okay, let's dive into that first step, ownership. This has nothing to do with trust. It's all about proof. Hard, physical proof. You need to ask to see the official paperwork, the title deed, the lease documents, whatever it is. And listen, this is the most critical part. You have to insist that copies of those papers are physically attached to your final sales agreement. Make them an official part of the contract. If they can't show you the proof, it's a no-go. Simple as that. Now this might be the single most important thing you can do. Because a company's past work, that's the best crystal ball you've got for what they'll do in the future. So physically go to one of their finished buildings, see the quality with your own 2 eyes. And if you get the chance, just casually strike up a conversation with someone who lives there. Ask them what it was really like. You know, their honest, unfiltered feedback is going to be worth 1,000 glossy brochures.
All right, the agreement. This piece of paper is your only shield, your only protection, so you need to know it inside and out. You're looking for 4 key things. 1, the delivery date. It has to have penalties for being late. That's your leverage. 2, finishing details. You need to know exactly what semi-finished means. Get it in writing. 3, that force majeure clause, the act of God part. You need to understand what happens if there are delays that are out of everyone's control, so you're not left in the dark. And finally, know your rights and their rights, backwards and forwards.
Okay, so you've got your defensive toolkit. Now let's switch to offense. It's time to learn how to spot the traps, the red flags that are specifically designed to trip up buyers who aren't paying attention.
You know the old saying, if it seems too good to be true, it is. 100%. And this quote just nails it. Nobody in Ethiopia is selling a whole house for 1 million bear. That's not the price. It's a hook. It's the down payment, designed to get you excited and get you in the door.
So how can you tell the difference between a real discount and a fake one? Here's the cheat sheet. A real discount is clear and has conditions, like you get this price if you pay 100% up front. A fake one? That's the classic bait and switch. You call about that amazing deal and, oh, so sorry, that one just sold, but lucky for you, we have this other more expensive one right here. It's all about creating false urgency.
And here are a few other major warning signs to watch out for. Vague promises about things they can't control, like a future school, anyone trying to rush you into a decision, and social media ads that just don't match what you see in person. But honestly, the biggest red flag of them all, if an agent gets weird or makes excuses when you ask to talk to people who've already bought from them, run. Don't walk. Run away. What could they possibly be hiding?
So, okay, we've walked through the options, the toolkit, the traps. What does it all boil down to? What's the real key to success here? It's simple, really. It's about empowering yourself with knowledge.
Now, this is an incredible piece of advice for a salesperson, but let's flip it around and look at it from your perspective, as the buyer. You need to be the one talking. You need to be the one asking the hard questions, stating your non-negotiables. Don't just sit there and listen to a sales pitch. You're not a passive audience member. You're the lead investigator in your own future. Take control.
And that right there, that's the big takeaway. That's what this is all about. Your most powerful tool, your greatest asset, is information. When you ask questions, when you demand proof, when you verify every single claim, you're not gambling anymore. You're making a smart, secure investment in your future.
So in the end, all the power shifts right back to you. With this strategy, with this critical way of thinking, you can navigate this market with total confidence. So really, there's only one question left to ask. Are you ready to put this knowledge to work and protect what is probably your biggest investment ever?